Emma stood quietly by the window, her trembling hand resting on her belly. Outside, the rain poured heavily, matching the storm inside her heart. Just weeks ago, she had been the happiest woman alive. She had just discovered she was pregnant, carrying the child of the man she loved more than anything. But now, she was alone. "Are you serious?" Daniel had said when she told him the news. His face, once full of warmth, had turned cold. "This isn't the right time, Emma. I'm not ready for this." Emma's heart shattered at those words. "It's our baby," she whispered, hoping he would change his mind, but he didn't. "I need space," he said, grabbing his jacket. "I can't do this right now." And just like that, he walked out of her life. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Emma cried herself to sleep every night, questioning what she had done wrong. She replayed every moment, every conversation, trying to understand why the man who once promised her forever had left her when she needed him the most. But there were no answers. Slowly, Emma began to change. She realized no one was coming to save her. No one was going to hold her hand through this journey. So she wiped her tears, stood up, and decided to fight, not for herself, but for the tiny life growing inside her. She started working extra hours, despite her exhaustion. She attended doctor appointments alone, sitting quietly among happy couples who held each other's hands. Each time, she felt a sharp pain in her chest, but she stayed strong at night. She would talk to her baby. "I don't know how, but I promise you, I'll give you the best life," she would whisper, her voice filled with both fear and determination. Months passed. Her belly grew bigger, and so did her strength. Emma was no longer the fragile woman who cried herself to sleep. She had become someone stronger, someone who had learned to survive pain. And then one day, everything changed. Daniel came back to IT. Was a quiet afternoon when Emma heard a knock on the door. She wasn't expecting anyone. Slowly, she opened it, and there he was, standing in front of her, looking tired, guilty, and different. "Emma," he said softly. Her heart skipped a beat, not out of love, but out of shock. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice calm but distant. Daniel looked down, unable to meet her eyes. "I made a mistake," he said. "The biggest mistake of my life." Emma remained silent. "I was scared," he continued. "I wasn't ready to be a father. I didn't know how to handle it, so I ran away." Emma let out a small, bitter smile. "Yes," she said. "You did." Daniel's eyes filled with regret as he looked at her belly. "Our baby," he whispered. Emma instinctively placed her hand protectively over it. "You don't get to say that," she replied firmly. There was a long silence between them. "I've changed, Emma," Daniel said. "I've realized what I lost. I want to be there, for you, for our child. Please, give me another chance." Emma looked at him, really looked at him. This was the man she once loved with all her heart. The man she trusted. The man who left her when she was at her weakest. Tears formed in her eyes, but she didn't let them fall. "Do you know what it's like?" she asked softly. "To go through this alone? To sit in a hospital room surrounded by couples while you're by yourself? To cry every night because the person you trusted abandoned you?" Daniel had no answer. "I needed you," she continued. "Not later. Not when it was convenient for you. I needed you then." "I know," he said, his voice breaking. "And I hate myself for it." Emma took a deep breath. "You didn't just leave me," she said. "You left your child." Those words hit him harder than anything. "I want to fix it," he said desperately. Emma shook her head slowly. "Some things can't be fixed." Daniel's face fell. "I've learned to live without you," she said. "I've built strength from my pain. I've become someone I never thought I could be." She paused, her voice softening just a little. "And I'm proud of that." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "Is there really no place for me anymore?" he asked. Emma looked at him one last time. "There is a place for you," she said. Hope flickered in his eyes. but not the one you want. Silence. You can be a father to your child, she continued. But you don't get to be the man who broke me and then came back when it was easy. Daniel lowered his head, realizing the truth in her words that he had lost her. Not because she stopped loving him, but because she had learned to love herself more. As he turned to leave, he stopped for a moment. I'm sorry, he whispered. Emma didn't respond. She closed the door gently, not with anger, but with closure. A few weeks later, Emma gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. As she held her child in her arms, tears streamed down her face. But this time, they weren't from pain. They were from strength, from survival, from love. And in that moment, she realized something powerful. She was never alone because she had herself, and now she had her child.